Whole Lotta Red finally dropped, and for Playboi Carti fans, this has got to be probably the best Christmas gift they could have received, better than anything that their loved ones or friends might have gave them. So was it worth the hype though? This was a mixed bag for me. Vocally, Playboi Carti at times was doing way too much than he should have been doing. Like on Rockstar Made and several other songs, he would use this hoarse voice, which I could not get into at all. And the issue with Rockstar Made as well is that his flow was too stagnant, and that seems to be a consistent issue on the songs I was not feeling at all. And if he wasn't doing that hoarse voice, he was doing the notorious baby voice he does. And it does not go well when you put him over these beats that aren't atmospheric or melodic. Pierre Bourne, he was a big part on some of his previous works. So what's up with him only getting 2 songs to produce? That's the big issue right there as well. And it's not a coincidence that the 2 songs that Pierre Bourne did produce were songs that I did like. He really brings out the best in Carti, as Carti, I would refer to him as not mumble rap, because mumble rap, that phrase is just such a nonsensical phrase to begin with. It's just made up by these people that are like, oh, I like real hip hop. It's just made up by people like that don't like this new generation of music, and it's a passive aggressive way to throw a jab at them. This is what I would call a guy like Playboi Carti. I would label him as atmosphere, auto-tune, and or melodic rap, because the emphasis is more on how it sounds and the atmosphere it creates. When Playboi Carti is rapping over these atmospheric melodic trap beats, he doesn't overdo it with the vocals. He doesn't have the obnoxious ad-libs. What? Yeah, he does ad-libs constantly on his songs, but on a song such as Stop Breathing, it is too much. I will say though, that MF Doom line, that was probably the best line he had on the whole album. And he kind of surprised me a little bit lyrically. I'm not saying that he brought these crazy bars, but there was kind of a an interesting lyrical moment on Punk Monk when he was talking about all these rappers that he knew before they became the guys that they are today, such as Trippie Redd. He mentioned some other guys as well. Made a mention about wanting to sign Pierre Bourne to his label, but didn't. And the issue with Punk Monk is that the flow is so dull and it drags down the instrumental, and that was a problem on several of the other tracks as well. The instrumentals, they always pop out and always grabbed my interest, but then Playboi Carti, his execution on it would drag the instrumental down to the point where I'm thinking, is the instrumental trash or is he dragging it down though? And that's the downside of Playboi Carti's style. If he doesn't come with the right approach to a certain beat, that beat could be dragged down because of it. And Playboi Carti is very limited lyrically, so he has to sound good on the track he's rapping over, because he's not going to offer you these crazy Eminem bars. The album is at its best when Playboi Carti doesn't try to do too much vocally. I mean, there is an exception with the baby voice. When it's over something such as Pierre Bourne's production, it's more tolerable than if he were rapping on a beat such as Jump Out the House, because the baby voice in that song was laughably bad. The album is at its worst when Playboi Carti is not complimenting the instrumental and is trying to do something more experimental vocally. And a lot of times, he falls flat when doing so. The album gets off to a rough start, and on the features with Kanye and Kid Cudi, they outshine him. Even though Kanye was kind of clunky with his flow on parts of the instrumental, but when it got to more of this part of the instrumental on Go to the Moon, as you can hear here,
everybody wear a costume, spray a little extra perfume, Yeezys in the stock room, that's the name, make the stock boom.
I like the flow, and I felt that part of the instrumental should have really been the melody, and you put banging trap drums over it, and I felt that would have been a banger if you did that. And with Kid Cudi, that was a breath of fresh air hearing him after hearing Carti with his stagnant flow for the first couple of tracks, and hearing Kid Cudi actually flowing as opposed to this pause flow, I'll call it, that Carti was constantly doing throughout the album. As you go through the album, it slowly starts to get better, but not enough to save it from getting a positive review, as there's still some misses on the second half of this album, and that is why I'm going to have to give this a 4 out of 10. And it does make sense for me to do that mathematically, since I like 9 out of the 24 songs. That's not the main reason why I rated it 4 out of 10. But if you rounded it up, 9 out of 24, it's 37.5. So that is about 40%. I think it was going to be worth the hype to people that are real big fans of Playboi Carti, the diehard Playboi Carti fans. My musical tastes just weren't a good match for this album, for parts of this album at least. Let me know what you think about my review, and if you've listened to a whole lot of Red yourself, what are your thoughts on the album? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn notifications on. Also share with your friends if you enjoy the content that I'm making. This is the Whatever Kid, and it's on to the next one.